Well, hello there, gang. Welcome to the 30. It's another week. It's another exciting time at the 30. I want to welcome you to this week's episode of the 30. If this is your first time watching this, make sure that you like and share. If you've been with us for a very long time, you know what to do. Like and share the broadcast. I want to thank you once again for being here. We have an exciting guest this evening. Whether you are watching it in evening time, nighttime, morning, wherever you are, thank you for being here. My name is Patrick Jackman. I am the host of the 30. We do this each and every week where we focus on leaders, entrepreneurs, small business owners, and those that are doing some positive things in the community, whether locally, national, or internationally. So, once again, thank you. Let's go ahead and get this party started right about now. Greetings once again, folks. Welcome to the 30. As I said, my name is Patrick Jackman. I am the host of the 30. We do this each and every week. This is brought to you, and it is a production of the Jackman Group LLC and the Jackman Group, where we focus on leadership development, team enhancement, strategic planning, and coaching, business coaching. This week, I have the honor and the privilege to introduce someone who started off as a client years back and then transitioned into a good friend. Now she's a friend and a mentor, someone that I look up to greatly, someone who has done some positive things on the corporate side, a former CEO. Now she has transitioned into an executive coach where she focuses primarily on coaching executives and those that are on the executive team. Well, she's going to tell you more about herself, so I don't want to steal her thunder or her introduction. Nothing else that Lisa, I am going to bring you into the stream. Welcome to the 30. It's good to have you.
Hey, thank you very much. Audio good, video good.
Everything looks great.
Yay! That's always the first thing.
You
so
nailed
great.
it. Everything looks wonderful, wonderful. Thank you
Awesome.
for joining me on this wonderful afternoon. I know our viewers, wherever they are, it may be nighttime where they are, if they're watching it live, or evening or morning, or whether they're watching it in replay. I want to thank you, Lisa. I want to thank you for being here. Tell our viewers who Lisa is and what does Lisa do and represent.
Thank you. Well, a lot of folks may know me as Lisa Withers. I was married a couple of years ago and did change my last name to Jacklein, very close to Jackman, but Jacklein.
Yeah.
So Lisa Withers Jacklein, I have been a CEO in technology companies for 25 years. And really working with engineering groups, with sales and marketing teams, in investor-led organizations. I've done, public and private company management. But throughout that, I've always kind of been the senior executive developer in charge. And so that's a bit about my background.
Awesome. So you said that you were formerly your experience comes from being a president, CEO in tech firms, and you've done that. You were that in those positions for over 25 years.
Yep. I started my career early on I grew up in operations. And so I've done literally every job in a high-tech company, whether that was shipping, receiving. I remember coming back from maternity leave and they asked me if I would work in materials. And I really didn't know what that was at the time. And I was shown the stockroom and I was like, okay. And the baby weight came off quickly because I put on my jeans and went to work on pulling kits and counting parts. And then ultimately I said, this is kind of cool, and I got a certification in production inventory control management. and really learn the ropes operationally on what it takes to get stuff in the door and out the door. And so that was a big part of my background prior to being tapped to do an IPO for a Japanese company that was looking to exit the business. And they really liked the operational knowledge that I had gained. And because by that time, I was 39 and managing all of the operational aspects and the P&L and working with the rest of the team. So, yeah. So I have done. I can do all of the kitting of parts and all the production control, implementing ERP systems, all of that fun stuff. So that's something that people might not know about me, is that my background is operations, not in sales and marketing.
Wow, that's great. Now, you and I met, I can't remember, maybe 8 years ago, 9 years ago.
At least, yeah. 2008, maybe 9.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
I remember a call from your HR person at the time, and her name just blanks out here. And you're looking for a company, someone to come in and do some work with your teams, or your HR team and your sales team. And I think that's how we initially met.
Yeah, we had done a merger. Well, we were acquired by an international company, and we were tasked with leading the operations both in the U.S., in Rochester, where you're based, and in France, in the U.K. And then there was the parent company had another division, which had a number of different sites. And what we wanted to do was come up with a common business culture, because it's really difficult to overcome all of the international cultures that we shared, but to create a circuit training so that we could have all of our managers speaking with the same management philosophies, and in making sure that there weren't disparities, not only amongst the local groups, but amongst the larger groups, because it was really an international management team. So you and I and our HR team worked together to solidify that and build out a whole training curriculum. So it was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun. We were working with all different types of people from all over the world, France, London, US. So that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Let's talk, Lisa, about some of the highlights of your career as president, CEO, or if you want to go back further. What were some of the highlights, would you say, that came about from your corporate career?
Well, certainly being tapped to lead this IPO, right? We were asked to kind of report into San Francisco, talk to a banker, and I didn't know the first thing about IPOs or selling stock or any of that. But they asked if I would take the leadership position because I did know how the company ran. I knew what the markets were. I knew how to do that. So that was a highlight. But then secondary to that, locally in the Sonoma County area, I was out in California, there was a transition where HP was divesting the test and measurement group. And so there were a lot of folks there that were looking for a change. They wanted to work for a smaller company, a little less bureaucracy, and it was a change. And I recruited a number of high level staff to come and work with me just after the IPO. And it was really cool because I was able to learn about product management, strategic marketing, et cetera. And then I brought in a head of someone for my board position, and he had just closed a big deal with optical coating labs for billions of dollars, and brought him on my board. And he came from McKinsey. And so it was really awesome to have a very capable team, but they had to learn about working in a smaller company, and then to have the leadership and strategy to come and support us. So those were kind of a couple of things that really helped transform me into that CEO, because honestly, when you're tapped like that and you've been in an operational role, you're worried that everybody's going to figure out you're not doing anything. You know, you go, oh my gosh, what? Right? So really understanding what that role was, I really learned from the folks around me. And so that was a highlight of my career, was that knowledge. And then of course, working with the international teams, that was just so awesome. And we we were the smallest multinational company, I think, that ever existed. And it was so cool. We had our sales meetings in Kuala Lumpur, and and had strategic offsites at one of my colleagues' family's castle,
Wow.
in France. I mean, so we really did a lot of cool things. But again, it was kind of that foundation of everybody plays a role, and how can I facilitate it so that we can do two things: have fun and make money. You have to
There
do
you go.
both.
There you go. Two wonderful things.
That's it. Yeah. At
Have
the same
fun,
time. Yeah.
make money. If you can do it at the same time, that's even better.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
one of the things that really impressed me, Lisa, well, there are quite a few things about you that has impressed me. One of the things when I came into the office locally in Rochester was the culture that you had with health. Everyone, you brought in healthy things, lunch healthy, dinner healthy, and that really impressed me in terms of your people, but the culture that you had established. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, definitely it's a mindset, right? As far as the business philosophy goes, if we can come in and show up energetically because we are, healthy, and that we're able to be mobile, and it just makes all the difference. But you can reinforce that with a lot of your cultural values. For example, remember the program we did was boot camp, right? And it was leadership circuit training.
That's right.
So circuit training, it's just like going to the gym. You do these things, you get those muscles strong, you get this muscle strong, etc. So it's been kind of a lifelong thing for me, in that if you feel good, you're going to think good and do good things. So I really like to reinforce that, and it's catchy, right? When you're around people that are doing a lot. We started a softball team, and that was really a lot of fun. Got people out, and then you're able to mix things up in a different way because you're coming at it from the same place.
That's great. And now you transition out from your CEO role some years ago. You moved out of state. You started from scratch, right? You
Right.
moved from that point now to building an executive coaching business. Let's talk about that a little bit. And what was the trigger first that started you on your way from the corporate CEO role to starting your own business?
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if there was a trigger, but there was really a shift, right? And, if we look at our careers, all of us have different chapters in our career life, different chapters in our holistic life as well. And I felt a shift in my energy. I felt a shift in what I was energetically bringing to the team. And I stepped back and looked at things and said, I've got a great team. They're amazing. I had a very supportive corporate boss, the chairman of the company. It was just such a really nice environment. The company was doing really well, et cetera. They were looking at recapitalizing the business. But on the other side of it, I was personally not feeling as fulfilled as I had been. It's like I wanted to give, but there was nowhere for that giving to go because everything was going well. And especially with the international team, I felt like a lot of times, everybody, if you're a good leader, you bring in good people, you give them the tools, et cetera, and you let them do their job. And it was, the machine was running, and I didn't feel like there was anything that I could add to that. And,
Sure.
and so I stepped back and I said, well, what do I want to do? Coaching didn't come straight to mind, but I knew I needed to step back. And so I was very grateful that I had the opportunity to do that. And then my sister said, you need to come somewhere warm, Rochester's so cold. And so I moved to Florida. But actually I was in between. I went on a retreat and really looked inward about what did I want to do with these next steps in my career. And it did come to me, that coaching and giving and all of the things that I've learned, whether it's in my personal life or my professional life, I really do have, I think, some insight, and it's different than being a CEO. So I'd like to talk, a little bit about that as well.
Sure.
Because when you're the CEO, you're looking at what do the stakeholders need, what does the shareholders want, what is the returns on your investments, et cetera. And so your job is really looking out after all of that, and it's super important, and it's fun and energizing. But as a coach, it's a very different job. Your job is really the client's agenda.
Mm-hmm.
What does the client want? And, it's very different than, say, a lot of people go, oh, like a sports coach. Well, sports coaching is win-lose, right?
Mm-hmm.
But executive coaching is win-win, but it's not, and it's not therapy. It's not saying, well, what happened? What went wrong? You're not fixing things. My practice is really dedicated to successful executives that are looking to, maintain the energy or shift their energy into other things. And so I can support that individual by really helping them refine their agenda. What are they looking to do? And then giving them the empowering tools to help them and understand what's in their way, right? And so management is very directive. CEOdom, you're there, you're pulling all the parts, you're doing DISC analysis, my degrees in organizational behavior, you're looking at the theories of needs, et cetera. In coaching, it's all very different from that. You're looking at, what are people's motivations? What is their agenda? What are the blocks in getting from here to there? And so it's like just an awesome thing to be able to do that after all these many years. So I feel like it's just the cherry on top of the cake to be able to share that. And like I said, I've been there, so I understand and can be a good sounding board that, sometimes, what do they say when you're the CEO? If you want a friend, get a dog. Well, get a coach.
That's a good one. So we're going to pause there. And when we come back, I want to drill in a little more about your business. Again, your target market in terms of who are you targeting your business to. And let's go from that point on. So 30 seconds and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. I'm talking to Lisa Jaecklein, and Lisa is a former CEO of many companies, and now she's made the transition from that role into executive coaching. So Lisa, before we pause, you were talking about your target audience and who do you focus on when it comes to your business? I know you said executives. Can we be more specific as to the breakdown of who you target?
Yeah, pretty much, as I mentioned, it's companies, CEOs within those companies or the C-level suite that are looking to maybe have a sounding board for their next strategic plan, maybe have some obstacles or some things that they feel that are in the way, or just need that bit of foundation to be able to say, you've got this, you can go to this next step. And so I find that, again, my background is in technology companies, so products businesses really are helpful to folks. And I've worked in service industry as well. So it's not that I'm one trick pony there, but it's really successful individuals that are looking to take those next steps and that have kind of gotten stalled. I guess that's the best way to put it. They're just a little bit stalled and they go, okay, what's next? And, I'm somebody that can kind of help them through those gates.
Great. Now, why should someone, the question that I get when I'm training, or if someone comes to us and requested coaching from us, the big question is, why should I have a coach?
Mhm. Well, just look at any of our major franchise teams. Everybody needs some help, something from an omniscient perspective that is being able to be observant and to help go farther, faster. Right? I don't know how to maybe put it any better than that, but it's having a sounding board. It's having someone that has your back. It's having someone that has experience maybe, or that can be observant to give you the trigger you to become the best that you can be.
Great. And the second question that I get is, what is the difference between a coach and a mentor?
Right. Well, a mentor, has it's all about the agenda, right? A lot of times, a mentor is a great person. They can give you experientially what they've gone through. You can pick from that and maybe push it. But a lot of times, a mentor wants what's best for you, and a way that is they're creating the agenda. You're not creating the agenda. Mm-hmm. So if that makes any sense at all, but a coach, generally, it's like, say in life coaching, someone will say, get divorced. A mentor might say, well, you could solve this and do this and that. Now, a coach will say, all right, well, how do you want to proceed? How can we get this done with still having everything intact as much as possible? It's probably a bad negative example, but
I was just going to stop you and say, we don't want to get a divorce.
We don't want divorce. Right? No, we don't want divorce. But a coach really, I guess that's an extreme example of a coach really dials into what is your agenda, or a mentor or a friend. And that's why they say, it's difficult to coach. Everybody needs mentors. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But when you're hiring a professional coach, you really want somebody that can be honest and that is following through on what and a good coach will help you refine what your agenda is as well, and not adopt it for you.
Great. Awesome. So Lisa, if someone wants to get a hold of you, and again, your target audience are executives, C-suite, right? So if someone wants to get a hold of you for executive coaching, how would they go about doing that?
Well, they could reach out to me through LinkedIn, and I've got Lisa Jaecklein. If you just go to LinkedIn and search for Lisa Jaecklein. Also, LisaWithersLLC.com is there as well. So that would be the easiest way. And I don't want to say I'm exclusive to just coaching. If there are team building practices, things like that, operationally, sometimes when you are working with the CEO, then they say, oh, well, could we pull in some team activities and things like that? So I'm also open to doing that, and have had great success working with teams in that way.
Awesome. Well, Lisa, thank you. We are at that point where we are going to talk about give you, so that our audience knows you from a more of a personal standpoint, right? Every guest that comes on, we have a kind of a spot that's called rapid fire. This is a section or a spot within the 30. So 2 minutes of rapid fire, and I'm going to ask you a series of questions quickly, and you will quickly respond. So first one, ready?
Ready.
All right. Last leadership book you've read?
That would be The Speed of Trust. It's an oldie but a goodie, and it can really benefit any organization to get the team behind you and you to buy in them as well.
And who's the author of that one?
Oh, Stephen Covey.
Okay. The Speed of Trust, Stephen Covey. All right, great.
Yeah, oldie but a goodie.
Well, sometimes there are some books out there, oldies that last time. My favorite one, but oldie but goodie, goes back to How to Win Friends and Influence People. Right?
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yep. Favorite song?
Brand New Day by Sting.
Okay.
And Google the lyrics, everyone. It's really, things happen, but every day is a brand new day.
It's a brand new day. Great attitude, wonderful mindset. You wake up, it's a brand new day. Favorite movie?
Okay. Remember the Titans.
Oh, no wonder we are such great friends.
I have taken multiple companies to the theater and rented the theater, especially with mergers and acquisitions and things. And especially in these times, it's worth a watch. Remember the Titans and the music. I mean, come on, man. Right.
Love that movie. Love that movie. Great. Favorite place to vacation, Lisa?
Tahoe. I took my family there every year. For every summer we'd go rowing and on the alpine lakes above Tahoe and hiking. Really sad that it's got so much smoke and the fires that have affected the region. So my heart's out to everybody in the Lake Tahoe area and the Sierras.
Okay. Last but not least, your favorite city or country where you've done work in?
Oh, I'm going to have to say working in France, and it's nothing off of the UK or the other, but come on, you're in Paris and you're riding the RER to work and getting on the bus and it's so wonderful, the people that are there. I really enjoyed working in France.
Wow. Never been there, but I've heard some great things. Shout out to Christiane.
Oh, right. Yeah. Christiane. She's awesome.
Yes, she is. I sent her a message earlier today to let her know that you'll be on.
Awesome.
So Lisa, well, we're up on the clock here. I want to thank you for spending time. I want to thank you for everything that you've done and doing. I know you will be tremendously successful with executive coaching. Those that you coach will be blessed to have you as their personal coach. So thank you.
All right. Thank you.
We will chat sometime down the road. We know that we'll chat sometime soon. So thank you. And say hi to your husband for me.
All right. Thanks for inviting me.
Okay. Bye-bye. So we've been talking to Lisa Jaecklein, and Lisa's been a friend of mine, as we said, for a number of years. Great person, knowledgeable, executive coach. So if you're looking for someone to be your coach, if you're on that level, C-suite, as she said, and you're looking for someone to take you to the next level or to help you go to the next level, you want to make sure that you look her up, LisaWithersLLC.com, and she'll be able to provide some great help for you. She has walked the walk, so now she can talk the talk. So make sure that you contact her. All right, that is it for the 30. I want to thank you for being here. Remember that we are here each week where we bring leaders, entrepreneurs, small business owners, and we have a discussion for 30 minutes or so. And you get involved. Make sure that you contact us. If there's anything any topic that you think that we should cover, make sure that you send me an email. All right. Join our community. Go to the JackmanGroupLLC.com. Make sure that you are part of our community. You can hear things first before we send them out. And we have some wonderful guests that will be coming up in the very near future. So that is it. I want to thank you once again. Have a fantastic day, night, morning, wherever you are. Make it a great one. And may God bless you and your family. See you next week. Be blessed.